Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, this is the day that we will rejoice and be glad in it. It's the time that we're going to enter into worship with the Most High and just give Him our best and just cry out to Him, because we live in a time where so much is going on. And so this has always been our people's way of speaking to the Most High and petitioning Him through our voices. And so let's do that today and honor Him in everything that we do. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Great and marvelous are thy works, Yahuwah Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints, who shall not fear thee? Who shall not fear thee? Who shall not fear thee, O Yah, and glorify thy name, and glorify thy name. Great and marvelous are Yahuwah Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints, who shall not fear thee? Who shall not fear thee? Who shall not fear thee, O Yah, and glorify thy name, and glorify thy name. Nations shall come and worship Him, Yahuwah Almighty. The judgment shall be then manifest, thou King of saints, who shall not fear thee?
magnify thy name.
We glorify
And we glorify thy name.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Whew. The name above all names, right?
Amen.
He is so worthy to be praised.
Hear me when I call, oh Eloi, my righteousness. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer, oh Yah. Oh Yah. Hear me when I call, oh Eloi, my righteousness. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer, oh Yah. Oh Yah. Standing on sin not, commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Standing on sin not, commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Selah. Hear me when I call, oh Eloi, my righteousness. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer, oh Yah. Oh Yah. Hear me when I call, oh Eloi, my righteousness. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer, oh Yah. Oh Yah. Offer the sacrifice of righteousness and put your trust in Yahuwah. Yahuwah. Offer the sacrifice of righteousness and put your trust in Yahuwah. Yahuwah. Hallelujah.
Elohim is our refuge and strength.
Hallelujah.
Psalms 46:1, a very present help in trouble. We know that these are times of trouble. Jacob's troubles are here and coming. And we know that our Elohim is our refuge. No matter where we're at, as long as we're obedient, the Most High is going to protect us. He's got us because He's the strength. He's going to put the heathen in his place, right? Things that we can't do, He's already done. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Cannot see the girl. Cannot see the girl.
Peace I leave with you. Peace I give to you. Shalom. Shalom.
I got today was something that was on me. Whenever I go through lessons, I try to take it from all steps of life, of what I've seen, stuff that I'm watching, and I constantly try to just take everything that I can. I was watching little Micaiah and watching how he's just growing and turning and moving and using his hands and more observing and watching your mouth as you're talking. So I watch him as I would think that the Father would be looking at us as we grew up. And as we're growing, he's watching us trying to learn, you know, the ways that of old. And he's looking at us probably smiling, sometimes frowning, like, I don't touch that, you know, ready to hit us and stuff. But one of the things that I've learned is, you know, life is valuable. We take every day that we're learning or what we're doing, and sometimes we take it for granted. Sometimes we feel like we know more. We're so, we're emotional. We get scared. We're scared to talk. We're scared to speak up. So now we're in a point in time where we're living and we're afraid to say hello to people. We can be in the same place with somebody that we don't know, and we're already passing judgment. But yet we don't want nobody to pass judgment on us. We don't want nobody to speak down towards us or make us feel a certain way. We come from a situation where it's a elevated type of atmosphere, you know, prideful, very prideful. We feel like we know more than somebody because we're very knowledgeable in an area, a certain area of life. I've always said that, you know, like, say like Naruto. Naruto knows a lot about the nursing field. I don't pretty much know anything about that, you know? And he could probably talk circles around me where it would be, you know, where I'm sitting there like, I'm listening to hieroglyphics being spoken, right? It's like, right, you know, some people, you ever get around some people and they say something and you're not familiar with it, and you watch them, they're like, yeah, yeah, you know that? Right. You know you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, just continue with the story. I know that's a lesson. You know, like, that's how it is with a lot of people. And the arrogancy of you just saying like, hey, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, to humble yourself and be like, hey, I may be wrong in this situation. You know, my bad. Like, can you show me? You know how hard it is for people to ask for help? You know, that word that is so hard for people to say, what is it called? Please?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Weird. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
nobody
by the way.
Everybody feels like they know I can do this. I'll do it myself. I don't need help. But we all need help. You know? It's facts. But the one thing that we understand, we ran through Mishnah 6, and we ran through how the Most High hates 6 things that he hates, 7 is abomination, right?
Yes.
So we're going to run through that. We're going to kind of scroll over that real quick. So I'm going to start this off. This is from Coach Carter. Not mine. I don't own the copyright to this. Just want to let you know.
Sorry. Yeah.
So we got to run this through real quick.
Yeah, this is fair use right now. 1976.
Hold on. Let me play first one here.
Thank you, Thank
Let's go.
Hey, coach, your shoes untied, sir.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Warren. Woo! Look at that gold. Look at that. I tied that shit. Can I get some on the boat? Let me get some. Are you crazy? What is wrong with you? What's wrong with all of you? Since when not enough? Playing hard, not enough. No. You have to humiliate your opponent. Taunt him after every score. You won 4 games last season. 4! What gives you the right to take the game that I love with trash talk and taunting? What gives you the right to wear Richmond on your chest and act like punks?
Coach, they were John too.
So? You can't show some class? Act like a champion? You owe me 500 push-ups apiece. On the line. Now!
So what do we see out of pride, right?
Yes.
He was teaching them a lesson about pride. And the way that he taught them is telling them exactly on how he showed it himself, on how it could look towards himself. We see that in scriptures where we see our forefathers, where we see the Pharaoh and how he was prideful. We see certain kings and how they're prideful in their life. One of the things that we look at is, do you examine yourself when you have these certain characteristics? Do we examine ourselves when we have arguments? Do we reflect back to this book? Do we understand who's guiding our steps? Right? Somebody read that for me.
The fear of Yahuwah is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength.
So the lesson today is, who is guiding your steps?
I like how you like that.
Like I said, we was going to go back over, Michelet, pride. Making sure that we follow through with a forward mouth. Our mission statement, we're going to read this together. Y'all ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
We are learning to walk through obedience to the Torah together, building in Yahuwah and Anba, from the Ab to the Yalad, in Ruach, Yeshua, Ben Yahuwah.
All right, so the objective today is, so now you're in the walk, huh? Do we stay still in what we know? How often do you open this book? Do you have the Ruach of the giant? Are we thinking that we are righteous in our own mind?
And another one.
And you don't have to read. Good, right? And are we allowing our emotions to dictate our decisions? And then, of course, the conclusion. So you're in the walk, huh? What is it to you when you think of walk? When you hear people that say, I'm in the walk, what you got? What you got?
I'm thinking of someone who is so what I think is like someone who's in like their spiritual mind, walking down like a long path, walking until they make it to their goal.
What you got?
Like someone who's walking the path of righteousness based off of the book.
Based off the book. Based off the Torah. That's right. Anybody else got something? Nobody? All right. So.
Wait. But yeah, ain't nobody gonna sign that out. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, now since I've found out who I am, so that's what the walk means. If I hear somebody's in the walk, that's what I think of.
Very good.
I like that. So we have this broken down in the Hebrew. Alright. Halak. Strong, snarling. That's strong. Alright. As you read these definitions, as you go through H3212, you would see that it is something that is stand still. And a walk is actually like an action, right? So you're in constant movement and constant flow. That's what walk would be pertaining to. So you're urging, you're moving forward, not going backwards, but in a consistency of there. You see the application is put into, exercise, follow forward, go along. All of these things are the actions of what we're doing, right? So this is what I got when I broke it down Hebraically, to behold the teaching that is allowed. So how can this be in anything? So if you're walking, say, like Aleister Crowley, and you're walking in the Hashatan way, then you'll be beholding to the teachings of Hashatan that is allowed. If you're walking in the way of Yeshua, of the Most High Yahuwah, then you'll be walking in the teachings that are allowed of Yahuwah. These are the things that you'll be walking in, that you're allowed to walk. So those, that's what I got out of it. Anybody got anything else?
Can you go back and show us what the letters were again?
Go back.
That's the paleo, right? You're talking about? 'Cause that's the what? The hay, the lamed, and what's that last one y'all think that
The
is?
final call.
Oh, of course, the Hebrew. Yeah, that's hard because I mean the cough does not look like that.
I wanted to go forward real quick, like to the other page.
What you got on?
So, okay. So what I'm thinking of over this, when you're thinking about aloud, I'm thinking like maybe of like some terms and agreements, like those, kind of like how apps tell you like, oh, this will happen and this will happen. Like how you have to go through like, it's kind of like, pretty much like, say you want to go on an app and it has terms and agreements. That's pretty much like bonding your freaking, it's like bonding your tablet. And it's like checking off checking off your life, checking it off.
That's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking when he said to behold the teachings that is allowed, that I wouldn't have said that. I would have said to behold because of the hay, and I would have definitely said the teachings because of the lamed, right? But I wouldn't have came up with allow, but I'm glad that you did because it makes sense. Because even if you worship Satan, there's rules. Like there's certain things that you have to do in order for you to be in that. Like in order for you to be a part of that, there's things that you can do and that you can't do. There's rules to everything.
Everything.
Even when you say I don't abide by rules, you do. There's still rules to everything.
Thank you. There's no such thing as neutrality. Neutrality. People think they can be neutral.
Right. And
There's
you
no
can't.
such thing.
There's rules. Yeah.
After everything about the law, but I think when you say the law, like if you're like talking to Yahuwah or praying, in other words, imagine yourself like walking into the land.
Walking into the land? I like this.
The path of perfection as described by keeping the entirety of the law. A Hebrew is in the process of gaining or has gained the knowledge of who they are as a nation and in the eyes of Yahuwah.
So, say that first part again, the path of what?
The path of perfection as described by keeping the entirety of the law.
Of the law. Doesn't matter what law, right?
Then you ask the general question, what is the walk?
What is walk?
Yeah.
Yeah, not. So yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I think that goes right along with what we're talking about.
Yeah. I like that.
Somebody's law.
Alright. We stay still in what we know. So now that you got it and you like, oh, I'm gonna walk now, I learned this, I know who I am. Do I just stay still and just I'm good, I'm gonna talk about Christians, I'm gonna talk about those pagans and people who are doing something that they don't know of. I don't really need to read my scriptures, I'm good. Do we do that now?
No.
Do we just learn like, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on, I don't know, all the books that I missed out on, and then I'm going to try to learn like a little bit of something else, and then that's it, I'm just going to stop? Like, do we not learn anything else around us? Or do we continue to study to show thyself approved?
We have to continue.
The latter.
Yeah. So we study to show thyself approved, right? All right, so I gave you a description. Go ahead.
Well, actually, there are some times when it's necessary to be still.
Say la.
Yes, absolutely.
We just sang it, I think.
Yes, we still don't know that I'm Yah.
But even in
Psalm
doing that,
46.
even in doing that, you're still following the commandment.
Yeah,
Hey,
When he tells you to do something.
yeah, still obedient.
it's still a law.
Alright. So what I see, still water. What does that still water look like? Does that water look like you can jump in it and like be clean from it?
No,
You can take like
Mosquito
mosquito water. Exactly.
Lord.
It don't look like water if somebody wants to just drink and if I was thirsty, I don't know, I might have to take something from Uzi's page and get a bandana or something like that. I don't know. Now when you look at other types of water like running water, which is scriptures, it looks clean, it looks clear, it looks something that you can be able to take a bath in, something that is refreshing, something that would cleanse you, right? Not even just the outside, but the inside, because it's refreshing. I don't know if anybody's ever been through or put their feet in running water. It's just a different feeling. Just hearing that water is soothing, right?
Yes, yes.
There's just something about that. It calms the soul, I believe. That's just me. All right, so how often do we look at this book? Who is guiding your steps? So we have this, and a lot of this stuff goes back to this book when we have problems in this world. When we have any issues, there's nothing that goes on that we have right now that we shouldn't be able to reflect back to this book. Right. Nothing. Well, they say there's nothing new underneath the sun, right?
Nothing.
Every time we should be able to reflect back to this book. If I have a problem in my home, if I have a problem outside of this home, I should be able to go back to this book and be like, all right, y'all, what's going on? Like, how am I messing up? What's happening with me? I got to analyze myself, right? So, somebody read Proverbs 8 through 8-9, this one right here for me.
All the words on my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understands.
Hold up. So they're all plain to him. It's plain. Does that mean it's hard?
No.
Nah, it's simple. Like, it's easy. Follow directions. Read 1 through 10. How hard is that? You're going to start off at 6. You're going to start off at 8. Who's guiding your steps then? Are you doing it yourself, or are you following the instructions, the directions? All right, go ahead. Continue.
And write to them that find knowledge.
Write to them that finds knowledge. So when we look at forward meaning fraud. So there is nothing fraud or perverse. Perverse meaning it's showing a deliberate or obstinate desire to have in a ways that is unreasonable or unacceptable, often in spite of the consequences. So, in other words, it's fraud or there is nothing fraud or unacceptable in them. So in those words out of the Most High, He's not giving you anything that's fake. You can always go back and look at the book. And we should always be able to go back and look at this book, and then we should be able to find precepts, that's the witnesses. Because if you go to court, right, you go to court and you have one witness against you, that witness ain't going to hold up. It's not going to happen. I know, I've been to court. I'm just telling you. It doesn't do that. You got to have 2 or more witnesses. It's crazy because how this judicial system operates the same as this book that we have. You got to have those witnesses, and those witnesses are back to your scriptures, back to where you can find this address, and then I can find it in this book and in that book as well that can bring you into context to understanding what I'm going through. So examples of consequences could be what? It says often in spite of the consequences. What consequences can you have?
You can die from disobedience.
That's death.
You get sick.
You can get sick.
Just have a horrible life. A horrible life.
Yeah.
How about that? You don't know what's happening to you. And you don't figure out that it's your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Could it be your thought, your mind frame even, that it can lead to that? Because some people are sick in their minds, right? They can act like, we can act like we're good, but in your mind it could be the most wickedest imaginations. It can be something that's going on. I used to have thoughts where if somebody was running by me, I was like, man, I could tackle him. Like, this was just weird, you know? But I was like, man, I could lay this dude down for no reason. I could trip him.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. What was that show? Was it Big Daddy where Adam Sandler used to throw out the log and the guy was skating? And I was like, man, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But why would I think that?
Yeah.
You know? Because my mind is wicked. You know what I'm saying? Your heart is wicked. You think of wicked imaginations. But if you don't have this book, if you don't have this Torah, then you're not going to understand, like, okay, why do I always think about that? What are you allowing to guide your steps in this question? So what if I told you you're a Nephilim? Alright? So do you have the Ruach of a giant? Facts over feelings. I need Lydia to say it. What does it say? The Most High don't what? What do you say? You gotta say it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on.
Nobody cares about your feelings.
No.
I do not care about your feelings.
He doesn't care about your feelings. I'm not gonna say it like that because I don't want disrespect. So look.
No, I don't care about people's
You know, he doesn't care about your feelings. It's facts over feelings. Right? So, Mishle 9:13 through 18. Somebody read this for me? Read it out loud, please.
Okay. Foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knows nothing. For she sits at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wants understanding, she says to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knows not that the Nephilim are there, and that her guests are in the depths of Sheol.
Sheol. So look, so as she's operating and she's sitting there, it says she's clamorous. She is simple and knows nothing. Alright? But it talks about that he that knows not that be dead, like the Nephilim that are there. Alright, so they're in the depths of Sheol. Alright, we're going to continue to go with this one. Mishle 16. I just want to kind of read through this real quick. Who could read real loud for me? Mishle 16.
I can.
Yeah, pull it up on the phone. I don't have it on here because it's going to be long. I'm not going to have it.
16?
Yeah, 16.
The preparations of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from Yahuwah. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes.
So it says all the ways of a man is clean in his own eyes. It's like in my eyes, I'm good. Like all y'all, you might have that problem, but not me. I'm straight. What you got, Texas?
What the verse just said, what I can get from it is that pretty much every single person has different feelings about themselves.
Feelings.
It's like they're looking through a different mirror. Like they have different types of mirrors.
That's right. That's right.
They look through a fancy mirror and they think they're beautiful. But some people who have gotten let down and broken apart, they look through a broken mirror and think that's a problem. And people who have been spoken up and who think that they are beautiful look through a fancy mirror and they see that they're sparkling and shining.
That's deep. So yeah, so in their own eyes, they can see like, okay, well, I look good. I'm spotless. I'm blameless. Like that's y'all. So if somebody says, oh, well, I know that we've all done this, and you can have people that can relate to it, and then you have some people who are like, nah, I'm not like that. I know I'm all guilty of having a certain mind of stealing. I know I stole something. You got one person like, I never stole anything.
Yeah.
Right? But we're not even talking about the whole material part. You could have stolen somebody's time, wasted somebody's time. That could be you stealing. You can steal things all the time. We've done it, you know. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the literal terms of that. All right, so continue. Go ahead, bro.
But Yahuwah weighs the Ruach. Commit your works unto El Yahuwah, and your thought shall be established. Yahuwah has made all things for himself. Ye, even the wicked, for the day of evil.
Okay, so Yahuwah has created all things. He's even created, he's created Lucifer, right? Or Hasatan.
Yeah.
But he didn't create him to be evil. That's something that he found within himself,
That's
right?
right, yeah, exactly.
But even that he's found that he's evil, he still gave him a job. Now you still work for me. Please believe it. But now what do they got to do? They got to go to him. Hey, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. Yeah, look what he's doing. Can I get him? Can I send somebody after him? Yeah, go ahead. That's what it is. He's got a job for them. They all got jobs, but he didn't create that person to be evil. That's how people's trying to mix up stuff and be like, oh, he created Satan, right? Oh yeah, that's evil. It says this. Like, nah, bro. Like, let's read it. All right, go ahead.
Everyone that is proud in the heart is an abomination to Yahuwah.
Everybody that's proud in the heart that's looking in that beautiful mirror, right? Everybody who's proud. Keep going.
Though hand joined in hand shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. By the fear of Yahuwah, men depart from evil. When a man's ways please Yahuwah, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little righteousness than great revenues without right. A man's heart divides his way.
His own way. His heart divides his own way. Go ahead.
But Yahuwah directs his steps.
But Yahuwah is directing his steps. See, a man's heart can go any way that he wants to go. And then when he starts walking the way of his own heart, Yahuwah's going to be like, okay, you're going to walk down that path? I got something for you. There's something for you. It's going to be either life or death. But if you're walking after your own path and not Yahuwah, it's going to be death. If you're thinking that, if you don't refer back to this book, if you don't go back to every step at the beginning of life, which is this book, then you're going to mess yourself up, ain't you? All right, go ahead.
A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth transgresses not in judgment. A just weight and balance are Yahuwah's. All
the weights.
Lost his place. What was it?
It's all good. Just skip down to 17, go to 17. And then we're going to finish off at 19.
the highway of Yasharim is to depart from evil, so that he keeps the way guards his soul. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty Ruach before fall. Better is it to be a humble Ruach with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud.
Go down to 27 and read to 29 real quick.
A wicked man digs up evil, and his lips there burning fire.
His lips are there burning fire.
A froward man sows strife, and whisperers separates chief friends.
Okay, so when it says whisper separates chief friends, you over here talking behind your ox back, you smiling all in their face, talking to them, telling them what's up, and giving them hugs and all sorts of things. But then behind their back, you chopping it up with somebody else like, man, I really don't like it. What is it about it? It's just something, my feelings, it's a feeling situation. I don't feel like I like this person. It's something that they doing that just don't sit right with me. Well, at that time, when you have a brother or you have a sister that you're talking to, the answer should be what? Well, let's go to script. Let's go back to script and say what script says about this. What does script say about your feelings? What does script say about how you feel at this moment? And then to see if that pricks the heart. Because if that does, then that's something that you have to go up to. We was talking upstairs and how we operate supposed to. And in Yahoo 18, we're supposed to go to that person. You know what I'm saying? That person that's committed an odd against you, if you have your feelings hurt, then you're supposed to do what? You're supposed to go to that person and let them know in person. Not over no text message. You know what I'm saying? Not over no phone calls. You go to that person. You don't go behind that person's back and talk about that person and say, well, I feel this or I feel that, or they should have this. That person should know how you feel. Because now what you're doing is you sweeping stuff underneath the rug. And then when you start walking in, you just start sweeping and just starts piling. That thing gonna pile up. And then somebody gonna come to your house and be like, hey, what's that underneath the rug? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just keep going. Go to the back room. I got some food and some vittles for you. Don't worry about that. That's it. You trying to hide.
Gonna trip.
Oh yeah, they're gonna trip over your stuff.
Yeah, stumbling block.
That kind of sounds like the dusting kind of sounds like, you know how in those shows, or in those like, those comedy shows, how they have those like, whenever like all the stuff is like piling up and then they just shove it in the closet.
Yeah. So they're trying to hide what is it called, skeletons in your closet, right? So that's what you're doing. And it says when you have a forward mouth, it stirs strife or sows strife. So read the next one for me, 29.
A violent man entices his neighbor and leads him into the way that is not good.
So you got a brother that's there that's like, yeah, me too, man. Yeah, I don't like that person too. Or, yeah, we should do that. I remember it was times where if somebody didn't like someone, you always had that one person that would be like, we can jump them. You know?
Yeah. You did. You already know it.
Yeah, one person that just say that. Let's jump.
The instigator.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, you know, I didn't like them. Like, what you got?
To add on to what Texas was talking about, like shoving the things into the closet. So let's say that closet becomes open, so you guys might break out into an argument. So then all that stuff that was in there just all comes out at once.
One time.
So how can that happen when you bottling up stuff, right? And then just stuff just starts coming out of nowhere. You getting all angry for no reason.
So then now you're enraged.
So then now you're enraged, and then stuff started happening from the past, and be like, and I don't like it when you leave clothes on the floor.
You're like, what?
Everything comes out.
I just turned off the burner. Like, I'm sorry. You know, I'll turn the oven back on 350. Like, what's the issue? Like, stuff just comes out of nowhere.
Everything.
Because you don't handle it, right? Stuff that happens and you just like, it's random. I remember having a conversation with my sister, and she had a conversation with my mom, and she was just going off, and you didn't celebrate my birthday like I wanted it. And I was just like, well, how did we get here? We were talking about your son's graduation, and then all of a sudden, this don't make, how did it come about you, is the point. Because you have stuff that you haven't dealt with. You haven't went back to the scriptures, and you're allowing something else, which is your feelings, to guide your steps, instead of allowing Yahuwah to guide your steps. Alright? Alright, Mishalei 21:16. It's talking about a man that wanders out of the way of understanding, so out of the way of Yahuwah, shall remain in the congregation of the dead, the Raphalim. The Raphalim is going back to the Nephilims, the giants. So when we go here, we can see that at the beginning. Alright? So who's a strong reader that can read that for me real quick? Go ahead, Twitch.
There were Nephilim in the earth in those days, who also gathered afterward, when the sons of Elohim came unto the daughters of men, and they bore children unto them. The same became warriors and tyrants, which were from everlasting mortal men of the names. And Yahuwah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was evil continually.
So the thoughts of his own heart, the thought of his feelings were evil. It wasn't of the Most High. When you have thoughts that are yours, is that wicked, or is that of the Most High? I would say anything opposite of the Most High is what?
Wicked.
Wicked, right?
Yeah.
So so therefore, the Most High, he repented that he made man. He was upset. And especially in this time when the Nephilim got. So, Enoch 64. Meow, read that.
Enoch 64?
Yeah, I think I messed that up. And I saw other figures, my bad.
And I saw other figures hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the messenger saying, these are the messengers who descended upon the earth, and they revealed what was secret to the sons of the humans from the heavens. And they seduced the sons of the humans so that they committed sin.
Alright. So then if you read in Enoch, it'll give you a better description on what they did, what the giants were showing. They were showing the humans fire, makeup, weapons of war, showing them basically how to kill each other and go further away from Yahuwah instead of getting closer, revealing the secrets of the Shamayim. At that time, you would see that it was even worse, because what they were doing is what we see now, right? Where they were mixing kinds and stuff like that. This is something that was definitely not from the Most High, and it was out of the walks of every man's imagination. So when you think about that, I think about the Ruach of Nimrod, when people say, follow me, worship me, and I will teach you. So when you see that they started to get worship, you start to direct that spirit of a giant. Basically, you want to, it's almost like when you see people that are in music, right? What do? They want everybody to worship them. They even have different names that they go, oh, it's like another spirit is over me and I just feel it. Right? Sasha Fierce, right? You have different people that are calling on a different name. And in that name is a different spirit, because we know that we read Enoch. Enoch says about how these spirits, they were wiped out, but they still, what? They still went across the earth. They were still there. So they have to go into somewhere when you conjure it up. So when you conjuring up these spirits, or when you're walking out of the way of the Most High, and you're not allowing Him to guide your steps, you're allowing now another spirit, your feelings, to guide that. And that's what they were operating in, their feelings. So people usually get mad and be like, oh, you don't want to follow what I'm doing? You don't want to believe in me? Like I'm here for you. This is what I'm doing. Like nobody else. It's going to be me. And you have people that manipulate people like that. You have people that manipulate children like that.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's going to love you like this. Men that do women like that, ain't nobody going to love you like that but me. And that's how you have people slaved in their minds and thinking that there's no other way. But Yah says different. Tell me again. Why should I care about your feelings over facts, honesty, and reality?
Yeah, me too.
So are you righteous in your own eyes? Is this feelings? 2 Timothy 3, 14, 17. All right. You want to read it? Go ahead.
But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of knowing, of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahuwah HaMashiach. All scriptures is given by the Ruach Elohim, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of Elohim may be perfect, through thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
Hallelujah.
So that's something that stuck out. Eliyahu, I put out, we're all dodging happiness in search for perfection.
Yeah.
That's right. Honest, I said that right. And I thought of it, and I brought it up as far as my answer to that was I could see this on a worldly aspect, but how can I see this on a Torah aspect, or how can I see this on a scriptural aspect, right? And the thing that stuck out of my mind is that man of Elohim may be perfect through furnished works unto all good works. So how can I be perfect? How can I try to be perfect? I go back to the word that is perfect, and that's how I try to be perfect. How is that? What is that going to do for me? It's going to give me happiness. Because it doesn't say follow my word and you'll be sad and upset and gloomy for the rest of your life. It doesn't say that. You follow this word, these scriptures, you're going to be able to be happy. You're going to glorify the Most High and what He's promised and given you, because His word doesn't come back void. So in that, I would say, would be made perfect through the furnish to all good works. But we have to make sure that we keep going back to this and make sure that it's every step that we're going to the kingdom and not the kingdom of destruction. All right? All right, so Proverbs 21, 1 through 6. Oh, y'all, can you read that for me, y'all?
The king's heart is in the hand of the Elohim. As the rivers of water, he turneth whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Elohim pondereth the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A high look and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of every one
that is hasty only to want.
the getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro of them that seek death.
So, man, you got a vanity on your mouth. That's something that you just all about yourself, a vain tongue. You seeking death already. That's it. You ain't seeking the Most High. Those words ain't coming from the Most High. That proud look that we was talking about, that heart that you feel like you don't more than everybody. The feet that runs quick to mischief. These are all things that we look into. But if your thoughts ain't of Yah, then who are they of? His thoughts are bigger than ours. That's one thing that we have to understand. We can't never feel like we are bigger than him. Or that we know more than a lot of other people like Yahuwah. We're deceiving ourselves. We're only 30-second Hebrews in this. 30 minutes, if that. But there are too many people that walk around and think that they look good. That comes from like a lack of faith a lot. A lot of people that walk around and feel like they're better, but they're more scared of men because they're trying to impress men on the things that they've done here on earth instead of trying to impress the Most High in what they're doing. So they allow their mouth to constantly verify what they're doing instead of allowing their walk and their works to verify that. The Most High is going to show it. You can bring out and say stuff. I know too many people that do stuff that say false things, false prophets. We've had too many. You know what I'm saying? And what happens? It's a falling short. All right, Proverbs 25, or Tehilliym 25:27.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
I'm saying Tehilliym. I said Proverbs. I messed it up. So
They're next to each
Proverbs.
other.
We all messed up.
Yeah, we all messed up. Proverbs.
Crazy, yeah.
You want Proverbs or Tehilliym?
Proverbs.
Oh.
I messed it up. Proverbs. I was looking like,
You should say Mishlei.
Should say Mishlei.
That was a good one.
I had them started, bro. No, I'm joking. Let's see. Let me know when you're there.
There.
There. Is it not good to eat much honey? So for men to search their own glory is not glory. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So, the one thing that I want to point out on here is that last one. He that hath no rule over his own breath is like a city that is broken down and without walls. So if you can't control your mouth, imagine what's going to happen. I think I was talking to, or Yahuwah had mentioned, Elder Yahuwah said that he's walking, he said it's like a couple of months ago that he's walking to try to keep his hands over his mouth so he doesn't say anything. It's something that's in scripture that regards that. A man that covers his mouth. And you got to be mindful because we can say stuff that can break down homes. And we have to keep those walls up. And there's some people that keep walls up to guard themselves from wicked things or from something that they feel that might hurt them. And it causes them to do, what do they normally say in Christianity? To block your blessings. Right? So you have some people that are guarding themselves from that. But there's some people whose walls can be broken down by them by themselves because they cause themselves to yell and scream and just to come out of their mouth like just spewing stuff. And it can cause a drastic effect around everybody. What I say is the feeling that can cause destruction is not only you, but to those that are in your household or those that are around you. Remember in the floodgates of Katrina, right? Mindful as far as like having a prideful mind of those people that are around them, where that floodgates, it is still tormenting people to this day.
Yeah.
Right? Even before the flood that has happened, you still had homes that wasn't even rebuilt.
Yeah.
People that haven't even returned back to that home. Your mouth, you can't have control over your mouth, over your own breath can cause a turmoil and it can hurt many people to where they're still recovering to this day, and they're putting this fake facade where you walk around, hey, how you doing? I'm fine, I'm good. But you're really hurting inside. You can go to, it could be your wife, hey, how you doing, baby? I'm good. But she's really hurting. She don't really want to talk to you. Or he don't really want to talk to you. Or your child really don't want to talk to you. Because you said something or you've done something that can cause a flood storm in their life.
So, I saw Katrina firsthand. And when we're talking about floodgates and we're talking about water and the power of the tongue, and understanding that we're made up of water and the atmosphere being water, that, you know, when you might say something, it may start off kind of small, but that's how tsunamis are created, right? And a tsunami is devastating, a lot of destruction.
Also, too, with Katrina, remember what I saw when you said that. I'm glad you brought that out because I looked at that too. That's my eyes immediately went to remember the floodgates of Katrina, because with Katrina, it was prideful. Those engineers knew that that wasn't going to hold, but they didn't want to admit that it needed to be redone. And so when the storm came, they knew. I mean, when you go back and you look at all the documentaries, they tell you that they knew that it wasn't going to hold, but they were so prideful and just didn't want to admit that they had done it wrong, that they had designed it completely wrong to begin with.
Oh yeah. So pride is going to be your basis of everything.
Everything.
You know? So who's guiding your steps? Who's guiding your steps? I got this one right. So, but
yes, you did.
32.
Yes, you did.
You got it right. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a clap on that one. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All this thing. So look, Tehilliym 32:8 through 11. See if I can get Yasakan. Can you read that for me, brother? Your eyes.
There you go.
I knew it was going to happen. The hates, brother. The hates.
What about you? Got it? I think he's got it.
I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go, and I will guide thee with mine eye. Be ye not as the horse, or as the mule which has no understanding.
Okay, so with the horse and the mule, when they're going by themselves, we understand they're beasts. They go off of instinct. It's just like dogs. If you have like a bunch of dogs around each other, and you have one girl dog and you have a bunch of male dogs, what's going to happen? You're going to have a bunch of those male dogs trying to get on that girl dog, right? But then you might get one dog that's restless and he's going to try to get behind another male dog. What's going to happen? There's going to be some problems, right? It's going to be a fight going on. But we understand that the horse and the mule, without proper guidance, they're going to go off and they're going to see some berries on the side. What are they going to do? They're going to go over there and try to eat on the berries. We had a discussion where we had a situation where horses, where me and my wife, and her horse literally was just like young. And it was funny because this horse did not listen to her. I talked to my horse before I got on my horse. I let my horse know. Like, you know, because they say talk to your horse, right? You go talk to him. So I talked to my horse and I said, look, I don't even like weave. I love you. I don't eat your meat. I don't eat your kind. I respect you. You respect me. We good. You just go, and I'm just going to, guide you in the right direction. That's it. And I got some sugar cubes for you afterwards. That's exactly what I told him. He gave me the look, and I was like, all right, Mr. Ed, and we kept going. But her horse was on a whole nother level. She was bucking, jumping, trying to bite. and other horses, making them mad. And I was like, pull on it. She was like, I'm trying. And this guy from behind, he spoke nothing but Spanish. And next thing you know, his horse takes off, starts going, took off, and it passes her horse, takes off afterward. You see both of them flying by. He flies by, and all you hear is, "Are you
What?
She's right here flying by, like, screaming. I said, pull on the rings. She pulls on the rings, boom, stops. And I bust out laughing, and I couldn't stop crying.
First time I listened
and it was the first time she ever like really listened to me. It was like saved her life, right? And I thought, you know, she would learn a lesson. But in that sense, like if you don't have these reins and you're pulling on these wild animals that have instincts, because that animal had instincts just to run. And with us, sometimes we operate off of our own instincts. But we have an instruction book, a manual, that shows us that we shouldn't be operating our own instincts because it could lead to death. That's exactly what it could lead to. So when you have these horses and they have no understanding, so that's the beast mentality. They don't have the understanding of the Most High. All right? Go ahead, Al.
Whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee. Many sorrows shall be to the world, but he that trusteth in Elohim, a mercy shall compass him about. Be glad in Elohim and rejoice in righteousness, and shout for joy.
Shout.
All ye that are upright in heart.
All right, so we got to shout. We got to be uprighteous. We got to make sure that we lift our voice up to the Most High. That's what we do when we do the praise and worship, right? I noticed that a lot of us, you know, some of us sing, and a lot of us will sit back. I'm one of those people that usually sit back, but I've been pricked in my heart to read scripts to understand that this music, you know, these words, these songs that even Prophet David, who a lot of us like to say that we want to have a heart like, he was singing for the Most High. He was dancing for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Breaking out the sweat. You know, are we saying that because we don't do that we better than David? Are we saying we better than our forefather of that, who was showing us and instructing us on how to have a humble heart? Or are we operating in this mind frame, but we too cool for that? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm too grown for that. Or that's a female characteristic. We let them do that. There was one thing that Yahuwah brought out. He said, you know, that kind of struck to me and it's been sticking to me in my mind. I keep bringing it up, sorry.
I believe.
But he says that, you know, we can't allow these women to sing more than us. You know, no disrespect. But the fact is that we have to lift our voice up so we can all be on one accord, so the Most High can see that we all are worshiping Him and loving on Him. You know, it has nothing to do with just, oh, that's just the music team and they doing what they can do. And we gonna sit back. So they pretty much their songs is on. That's us. That they singing for us. They got me. This ain't it. That ain't that.
Work your own salvation.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
Your works will follow you.
Yeah.
Show up with no praise. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Get out what you
So
put in.
this is of it. Many of y'all know the story in 1 Kings chapter 13. Even those that have power get puffed up full of knowledge, right? Or they get puffed up full of pride. So there was a man of Yah that came down and he started talking to, he was talking to the Most High. The Most High told him to go talk to the king. And when he went to go give the word to the king was like, hey, why don't you have some food? But he was instructed not to drink or eat. So the man said, I don't care if you gave me your whole palace. And if you gave me all the water or the finest wines that you have, I'm still not going to drink any of that. Like, it don't matter because I'm instructed from the Most High. So he gave him the word and took off. And then there was an old prophet that was in that town. The old prophet said, hey, you know what? He got word back from his sons that it was a prophet there. He said, let's go see him. So he said, you know, load up the asses, meaning like, go warm up the car. So they rode down there, went to go see him. And he said, hey, man, I'm a prophet. He said, you're a prophet? So am I. You know what I'm saying? Let's chop it up and talk. You know what I'm saying? So of course that brother's like, you know, iron sharpen iron. We ready to get it in, so let's talk. He said, yeah, we can have some food and stuff. I got some food at the house. So of course he's not thinking like, oh well, you know, the Most High told me this. He's thinking like, the Most High sent him because he's a prophet like me. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat and drink with him. And soon after he was done, what happened? He got eaten quick by a lion. And that lion had that man's donkey right next to him. Did he eat that donkey? Could have ate that donkey? No, he ate that man. And then people that passed by saw that that was from the Most High. And they said, oh, yeah, this definitely has to be Most High's work. Because clearly it's a donkey right there. This dude's picking out,
He chose that over
he chose that over this man. You know, that dude sitting there popping out eyeballs like Vampire in Brooklyn. You know, it's crazy. So when you see that this man had the Most High, he had the orders from the Most High, but he took over in his mind of like, okay, this is Most High bringing him here. And plus, you know, I was kind of thirsty. So he went ahead and went and just got some food and drink with him and became the worst. But at the end of all of this, Jeroboam was still wicked. He still didn't turn from his ways, even after he saw this. So there's times where we can see things that the Most High has revealed to us, and we still don't get it. We still don't get it. We can get the blessings from high Shamayim, and we'll still be like, yeah, I see that, and still be stiff-necked and hard-headed. Right? So you don't have to read. Right?
That's the face I'm talking about, Lily.
Yeah, that's Lily's face. Right?
Got the best one.
So the Most High favors no man. Right? I need somebody to grab Shemot 4:20 to 24. Anybody got the book of Yasher?
Yes.
All right, can I get 79:7?
Okay. Right
And
now?
then I'll probably go through everything else. Yasher 79:7.
All right.
And then I'll start off with Shemot first. We're going to show how the Most High sought after to kill Moshe's life. Alright, so that's Shemot 4. Sorry, Shemot 4,
I got it.
verse 20.
And Moshe took his woman and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Mitzrayim. And Moshe took the rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, when you go to return into Mitzrayim, see that you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, thus says Yahuwah, Yasharel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto you, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. And it shall come to pass by the way in the end that Yahuwah met him and sought to kill him.
There you go. So Moshe's life was in danger. Now, Yasher's going to give you a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
So the crazy part is, we're going to read after that, and then I'll go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. And Moshe hearkened to all that Yahuwah had commanded him, and he returned to his father-in-law and told him the thing. And the Reuel said to him, go in peace. You want me to keep reading?
Yes.
All right. And Moshe rose up to go to Mitzrayim, and he took his woman and sons with him. And he was at an inn in the road, and an angel of Elohim came down and sought an occasion against him.
Oh, and keep going.
And he wished to kill him on account of his firstborn son, because he had not circumcised him, and had transgressed the covenant which Yahuwah had made with Abraham.
Right, so that's it. And then it shows how Zipporah saw the angel and saw that it was coming down to kill Moshe, and she went ahead and circumcised the son. So in this point where we see this at, we don't see anywhere in Scripture where it says, or anybody has says, I'm righteous, like I'm good. Like that ain't got nothing to do with me. Like I'm straight. Like I don't have to worry about what y'all are going through, or I don't have to worry about anything because I'm good. Period. Like everything y'all talking about is null and void to me. The only person that I've ever seen that said that can even say that they were righteous was Yahusha. Like, people were like, oh yeah, Moshe, but Moshe didn't even hearken to the Most High's word when it comes to this. And that goes back to Bereshit 17:14, which that's what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to circumcise your children. So he knew of this, but instead of doing that, what did he do? He chose to listen to the mind of his father-in-law. He chose to follow his steps. Even when he goes to Acts 10 and he talks about Peter, and he doubted his vision, when he had a vision of the abominations, and he came out of his dream and said, no, Most High, that ain't me. I wouldn't even eat that. You know I wouldn't do nothing like that. But instead, then he got a knock at the door, and then who was there? You had some people from another nation. And they were like, hey, what's going on? What's the food? He could have been like, yeah, I got some, I just had a dream. I just went ahead and put some fried chihuahua lips on the grill. We can go ahead and make this happen. That's not nothing that he did. Let's go. I got pork and bean on, with some marinated and pork and bean juice. Like, I didn't do none of that stuff. Like, he went straight on to saying, like, okay, I got the discernment. Oh, that didn't have to do with food. It had to do with the other nations of these men. Let's rock it out. So that's what he understood. See, sometimes you got to have discernment. A lot of us, we don't have the discernment because we're not going back to this book. And even in that was after Hamashiach had passed away and resurrected. And then what happened? He's still keeping the laws. He's still making sure that he ain't eating abomination. That's weird. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. All right. So 1 Corinthians 3:18. We almost done, y'all. 3:18 through 23.
There.
Yes. I was going to ask you too.
Let no man deceive himself.
Let no man, again, you have it to where he's saying, don't deceive yourself. Go ahead.
If any man among you seems to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahuwah. For it is written, he takes the wise in their own craftiness. And again, Yahuwah knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Therefore, let no man glory in men, for all things are yours. Whether Pa'al, Sharu, I suppose, or Apollos, or Kepha, or the world, or life, or death, or things present, or things to come, all are yours. And ye are Hamashiach, and Hamashiach is Yahuwah.
Can you read, if you can, real quick, 20 and 21 over for me, real quick.
Yeah. Therefore, let no man glory in men, for all things are yours.
All right. Go to 20 real quick and read that.
And again, Yahuwah knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain.
All right. So even when you think that you know so much, you have so many people that have like that worldly knowledge. What is that to the Most High?
No.
It's nothing. Nothing. Those are vain thoughts. Just because you feel like you know something, you may break it down to a way of a Hebraic mind frame, or you may break it down to a way that I got a Greek and I know about the Latin. Like if you ain't got the Ruach, that don't even matter, man. Like that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't care about that. He don't care about your zits. He don't care about what type of traditional garments you got on. Like he don't judge the outside. That's for man. So that's where you have it to where, therefore, let no man glory in man. We have too many men that are worshiping other men. That's what we have. You idolizing man, and you allowing men to direct your steps instead of allowing Yahuwah to direct your steps. This is the problem that we have in today. But what are you tapped into, family? What are you really worried about? Are you worried about how you look to everybody in this room, or the people that's outside of there that don't even know you, don't pay no bills, don't cook for you, hasn't sat there and will wipe you if you lose all capability in your bodies? Nah. Why are you worried about them so much? Why is your mind frame on that? Because you're worried about the other things.
Yeah, Micaiah, you tell him.
And that's one of the things that you got to make sure that you got to think for the answers for yourself. Again, going back to studying to show thyself approved. So you don't sit there and allow a man to direct your steps. You got to have that man prove himself. So, okay, so if somebody give you a script, you got a lot of these people hitting you with these one-liners and then winging it. You know what I'm saying? They hitting you with one-liners all day. I'm going to give you a one-liner and then I'll shoot you and tell you how that goes. There you go. And then they're going to hit you with another one-liner and then wing it. And then that's it. Now we good. We straight. Everybody good? All right, y'all go home. That ain't it. All right? Hey. Second to the last one right here. We're going to be done for this one. All right, who's got this? Naruto, go ahead, brother. I knew you had it.
Oh, he's supposed to. Yeah, oh, he's doing something.
Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep the king's commandment, and that in regard of the oath of God. Be not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in an evil thing, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? Whosoever keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing.
Oh, hold on, read that again.
Whosoever keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing.
All right, family. So if we keep this commandment, is wicked stuff just gonna come apart on us? I mean, because Script says this, but what say you?
It doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter what we say.
All right, go ahead.
And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
Both time and judgment. All right. So when we have this, we have to understand that there's times where people are stressing out over things, and you shouldn't even be stressing out over it. You start looking sick when you're stressing out. You know that you start putting chemicals in your body. Some people, they want to avoid looking old or feeling old or whatever, or feeling like sickness, but it's all in your face. How you see some people that you grew up with, and they look older than what they age supposed to be. You know? And you like, man, what's going on? You know, you have some people that revert back to certain substances because they're like, I used to have my mother, she used to be rolling up her cigarettes. And I used to be like, why are you doing this? Because of you stressing me out. That's what it is. That's the only reason why I'm smoking. That's the only reason why I'm drinking this. It's me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you give me a tour, then you're supposed to give it all to the Most High. Right. Like, if that's the case, that ain't supposed to stress you out. You ain't supposed to have, that's your reliever. Like, it says in Scripture that these words will give health to the bone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you believe in that, if you believe in these scripts, you know, if you really have fear of the Most High, then there's no excuse. There's no excuse. All right, conclusion. Tehilliym 33:18. Behold, the eye of Yahuwah is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. To deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul awaits, or our soul waits for Yahuwah. His is our help and our shield. For our hope, our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his Kodesh name. Tehilliym 48:14. For this Elohim is our Elohim forever and ever.
Forever?
Forever.
And he will be our God. He will be our God. Not you will be your God. Not no other man will be your God. Yahuwah Elohim. Even until your death. So it doesn't matter if you have 20 years of living or if you have 100 years of living. What should be your guide? What should be your standard? Who should you be following? Who's guiding your steps? That's the end of what I got out of my lesson and what I learned. And that's what I'm sharing with y'all today. That's all I got.
Hallelujah.
Well,